January 8, 2016. David Bowie releases Blackstar, his strangest album in decades. Just 2 days later, he's dead. But hidden in the music were clues. Clues that Bowie knew his time was running out. This is the untold story of his final masterpiece and how he turned his own death into art. And the last secret from the title of this video is not just clickbait. It relates to the 5 demos that Bowie had recorded for new songs shortly before his death. 2 of them got released later on, and what you are looking at now is video made for one of them. But more on this later in the video. Act 1. The Making of Blackstar. In early 2015, Bowie quietly gathered a group of jazz musicians in New York. Few knew he was battling cancer, but in those sessions, he created some of his most haunting work. Bowie's health was a closely guarded secret. Only producer Tony Visconti and a few insiders knew the full extent. He recorded vocals in just 1 to 2 takes, pushing through fatigue.
This is a tradition that David and I always had, like, how can we mangle the voice? How can we change it and make one person sound like many people and in many different contexts and in many different spatial areas?
Engineer Kabir Herman recalled. He'd say, "No, we're doing it now." Bowie deliberately created an air of mystery around the project, leaving fans and critics to interpret the meaning of the album after his passing. The album was originally titled Star, a nod to its cryptic, minimalist themes. The single Blackstar was originally over 11 minutes long, but was shortened to 9:57 after Bowie and producer Tony Visconti learned that iTunes wouldn't post digital singles exceeding 10 minutes. The album artwork itself, created by Jonathan Barnbrook, is filled with symbolism that alludes to themes of death, the occult, and transformation.
Did he explain everything directly about every song? No, he didn't. We talked very generally about how the album represented mortality in a universal sense, and I think that just made the whole process a lot easier.
The Black Star, the title symbol, appears throughout the album in various forms. The image has been interpreted as a representation of both death and rebirth. Some fans even see it as an occult reference, with theories linking it to esoteric traditions. The vinyl edition of Blackstar contained hidden features, such as a luminous blue glow under blacklight and a cluster of yellow stars when exposed to direct sunlight. Interestingly, even Bowie himself was unaware of some of these secrets. The song Blackstar itself is a tribute to many of Bowie's musical heroes, like John Lennon, and also references the concept of the black star as a symbol of death. The track's long form and experimental structure also felt like a deliberate departure from the mainstream, indicating that Bowie was more concerned with artistic expression and truth than commercial success at this point. Despite the complexity of the album, particularly the 10-minute title track, which was stitched together from 2 songs, the entire album was mixed in just 10 days by Tom Elmhurst at Electric Lady Studios. Act 2. The Lazarus Clues.
Towards the apocalyptic, I think it rather hones that low-level anxiety. I mean, what a disappointing 21st century this has been so far,
Lazarus refers to the biblical figure resurrected by Jesus, suggesting Bowie's return through his art. The music video for Lazarus was filmed while Bowie was still alive, but it features eerie imagery, such as Bowie lying in a hospital bed with bandages around his eyes, foreshadowing his impending death. It's a haunting reflection of his state of mind during the recording process. The song itself, with lyrics like, "Look up here, I'm in heaven," seems to signal both a resignation to his fate and a kind of transcendence. The Lazarus video wasn't just art, it was a staged premonition. Bowie filmed himself in a hospital bed, writhing like a man possessed. But the creepiest detail? The wardrobe. Bowie wore his own clothes, items from his personal closet, as if dressing for his own funeral. The buttons on his eyes referenced the man who fell to earth, a nod to his own alien persona. He left instructions for the video's release, demanding it drop exactly when it did. Director Johann Renck didn't know Bowie was terminally ill. He initially thought the video's imagery was purely artistic and metaphorical. He later realized that Bowie was using it to say goodbye, learning of his terminal condition shortly before Bowie's passing. The video was shot just weeks before his death. Filming took place in December 2015, only a month before Bowie passed away on January 10, 2016. The urgency of completing the project was known to only a few close to him. The scenes with Bowie lying in bed and struggling to move were not just metaphorical, but also a reflection of his real physical state. He was in pain, but still performed with intensity. The bandaged blindfold with buttons for eyes is a recurring image in Blackstar. It's been interpreted as a reference to Greek mythology, Charon's obol, religious iconography, or even a nod to previous personas Bowie had created. Many believe Bowie's final act in the video, disappearing into a dark wardrobe, is a metaphor for his transition into the afterlife, a self-scripted final bow. The wardrobe is more than a metaphor for death. It mirrors Bowie's famous 1976 station-to-station tour entrance, where he emerged from a wardrobe-like structure. Some fans believe it's a reference to The Man Who Fell to Earth, linking his first and last major works. Bowie hinted at his death in the lyric, "Look up here, I'm in heaven," a chilling line given the song's posthumous release. "I've got scars that can't be seen," possibly a reference to his secret cancer battle. "Way or no way, you know I'll be free," suggests Bowie saw death as his final escape. The desk scene could reference his real final days. The moment he writes at the desk mirrors stories from friends who say he kept working on new music until the very end. The sudden retreat into darkness feels like a theatrical way of leaving the stage. Act 3. The Hidden Details. Bowie didn't just make an album, he built a puzzle. He loved the idea of cryptic storytelling, making both videos feel like an unsolvable puzzle. For nearly 50 years, Major Tom was lost. But in Bowie's final work, we find him dead. And that can only mean one thing. Major Tom. Was Bowie all along? And Bowie knew his time was running out. The dead astronaut, Major Tom's corpse, in Blackstar, was Bowie's idea. Here's something almost no one noticed. In medical terminology, a black star is a type of cancerous lesion found in the liver. Bowie had liver cancer. Did he name the album after his own disease? The weird, ritualistic dancing came from both Renck and Bowie's shared love for surrealist film and theater. Renck later said that Bowie, while filming Lazarus, was very aware that it would be his last time in front of a camera. The scene where Bowie slowly retreats into the wardrobe was Renck's idea, but Bowie immediately loved it. Many interpret it as his final exit. In astronomy, a black star is a theoretical stage before a black hole, symbolizing the final transition before vanishing. Bowie's heartbeat was recorded, and may be hidden in the album's ambient noise. The song "Dollar Days" originally had darker lyrics. Bowie cut the line, "I'm dying to," last minute. There's one final mystery. Bowie recorded more songs during the Blackstar sessions. Songs we have never heard. Songs that remain locked away. Waiting. Watching. The three songs, titled No Plan, Killing a Little Time, and When I Met You, were featured on the cast album of Lazarus, the musical based on The Man Who Fell to Earth, which was Bowie's first starring role in a movie. A mysterious, unreleased song, rumored to be titled Blaze, is said to contain even more cryptic messages. What do you think? Was Blackstar a farewell? Or something more? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to keep exploring the hidden secrets of music legends, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.